YouTube, Brian Phillips here, coming to you with something a little bit different today. We've got these ZOHD lithium ion packs. These are high performance flight packs. They are lithium ion, not lithium polymer, okay? So energy density is a little bit better on these. They are supposed to store for a little longer without discharging automatically. That's actually one of the features I like about the smart packs is they automatically discharge, but it's in a controlled fashion. Speaking to a regular lithium polymer compared to a lithium ion, these are supposed to hold charge longer, okay? They're also kind of like a round cell. They're more of like a hard pack. And then these are soft packs. Now you can get these in hard packs, but ultimately inside they're soft packs. They're pieces of like almost like a, I don't know, I want to say like a paper, like a really thin paper, hundreds of thin pieces. And then the compound in the middle is the lithium. And then they put it into an aluminum foil and they crimp it and then they have leads on the end and that's where the chemistry happens. These have packs that are wrapped really tight in a coil like aluminum foil and then they have an electrode that comes out either end and then they can make their positive and negative on them. Just a different technology. Let's show them the actual weights. So we tried to find a pack that would be actually the exact same weight, but this is 599 grams. That's a 10,000 milliamp hour, okay? And then this is a 4,000 milliamp 4S smart pack, and this is a 2200 4S, okay? So together, that makes 600. So it's equivalent, okay? So you've got 6,200 milliamp hours in terms of the same energy density, if you want to call it that, okay? There might be a faster discharge on this than this. I don't know exactly what all the performance specs are on this thing, but I'll just hold it here. Looks like the discharge rate is 2C. So I don't exactly know what that means. I think what they mean, because the maximum continuous discharge is 10 amps, which would be 2C or 2 times, this would be 10 amps, okay? 10 amps or 10,000 milliamp hours, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly the EC-1500 on this pack. We're gonna see what type of flight time we get, and then we're gonna see if we can get away with flying it on this. Now we may have to, basically, I don't know if I want to run these in parallel. Technically you could run 2 4S packs in parallel, but I'm just not 100% sure how I feel about that with 2 uneven sized packs. So the first thing we'll do is we'll hook them up to the smart charger. And then also this ZOHD also has some different packs here. This is a 5,000 milliamp hour, okay? Same scenario, it's a 4S compatible. So this is 98% charge. And then this one is, let's hope this one's charged because I just grabbed it. That was 97%, so that's pretty good. Now I also just charged this one just to top it off. And this one is 86%, which is interesting because guys, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. I put it on the charger, it's at 100%. Now these things discharge to a lower level, but I don't know how that works on an airplane, especially in a 4S. Does that mean your performance drops from like that 4S down to the 3S range? Or does it continue to operate okay? This is gonna be a lower draw than like an EDF jet, so we're gonna see how it performs right now. Okay, so as you guys know, this plane is not equipped with all the smart ESC stuff that's available. So what I'm gonna do is grab myself the regular old trusty smart alarm. This may have just a basic telemetry, but this is gonna give us a kind of an apples to apples comparison, okay?
And that's not a smart alarm, it's just a battery alarm.
This is just a battery alarm. Okay, so we're gonna fly the EC-1500 tonight. The reason for the EC-1500 is also to demonstrate how awesome this plane is. If you guys haven't heard, it's on sale right now at Horizon Hobbies, so check the link in the description. You can buy from my links, you can get the discounts, and any coupon codes or whatever you guys have, you can use those. So the EC-1500 is an awesome plane. I had a hard time with it when I set it up, but once I got it set up, I've really come to enjoy this plane. It's really cool. It's got the door on the back that opens. As you can see, this ZOHD pack fits really nice in here. It's really sturdy. It's easy to get in, not unlike the smart pack. Okay, so we're just gonna plug that in. Guys, that felt really weak. Oh, I'm gonna show you the trick of the day, guys. You may have noticed, camera crew, did you see how easy that was to pull out?
Yeah.
Like it was really loose. Small Phillips. See this lead? it's kind of getting compressed a little bit. This XT60, see that? You got to open those up from time to time. Sometimes, you see how that's opened up? Now watch this. Oh yeah, nice and tight. Okay. We're gonna let this initiate. Throttle cut is on. Everything is synced up. This does have safe active, but we're not really flying in safe. Throttle cut is on and tested because I have to have my hand in here. It's always a good idea to test things that are going to require stitches. So we're gonna fly this. The light's gonna go on us, so we're probably not gonna do like crazy flying. I always say that, and then it turns out crazy.
Never.
So why don't we do a little bit of back taxi, make sure it can handle it. Take off flaps. Okay. Okay, so far so good. We have a truck at the end of the runway, but that's okay. This thing doesn't need much of a runway under normal circumstances. Hey. Okay, so we're gonna take off that way if you wanna stay where you are.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Timer is cleared for 5 minutes here. Whoa, you guys hear the drag? You hear it beeping? It's already beeping.
Yep.
That's full throttle. And guys, we just charged this thing. Boggy, but it's doing it. You got to remember this lithium packs, this lithium ion is a different technology, so it's going to discharge a lot different than a lithium polymer. Lithium polymer is like, it's like you have, if you have a large cup and you were to only drink the top 10% of it, whereas a lithium ion is more like you have a large cup and you're going to drink to the halfway point, okay? So that means that you're going to go from a performance of a 4S down to the performance of a 3S. But that voltage alarm is going to freak out. I should have changed the alarm point. So you can see it's definitely got some juice here. But I am getting a little bit nervous. I'm kind of anticipating doing a dead stick landing here at some point. And you'll notice I'm way out there. This is what you do when you're not sure what you've got to deal with. Still got lots of performance there. But it's beeping away, isn't it?
Yeah. So how are you gonna know?
I'm not, I'll have to land. Okay, so we'll just take a landing. Let's go up to the landing strip here. Guys, look at the beautiful trees. Okay, full landing flaps deployed. We're gonna come in with almost no throttle. We're 0 now, over the vampire killing zone. Show you grass landing for a change. Okay, so let's throttle cut this and look at the setting. Throttle cut is on and tested. We're 2 minutes 50 right now, counting down, so I'm gonna try to make this quick. Okay, so you see this? It's warm, but I wouldn't call it hot. So all is 15.8. Let's press the button and see what it's set to. See, I could set this way down to the lowest setting for a lithium ion, okay? But what that means is that you're gonna have less voltage as it drops. So, guys, the reason I do these videos is so you can learn from what I'm learning. So I think maybe if you're gonna fly something like this, you wanna get an ESC that's gonna be configured to handle this type of configuration. I mean, we're going unlimited vertical right now, guys. So it's just not as juicy as with a 4S lithium polymer. And you see how long it takes? I'm gonna show you a trick, okay? I'm going neutral. Watch this. Full throttle. See how like slow and laggy it was? Okay, so we'll come in here. We'll just ride it all the way up. Being real mean to these packs. Now out of the throttle. Safe. I mean, I think this thing is gonna be a decent pack for a slow flyer or maybe some sort of like a project plane. you'd want to probably set up your ESCs for low voltage warnings and things like this. That's where you're going to want the different settings, guys. Okay, I want to be on the inside of you from the runway. Okay, full landing flaps here. We'll just do a nice little low pass. Look at the lights on that beauty. About 15% throttle, just getting over the tree line. We're going to drop it down after we get over, and we're gauging that over. Look at that beautiful view. Look at that beautiful view. It's right there where you can see it. I mean, it's just a different experience. It's almost like having a 3S Flite, but we're on a 4-cell configuration here, which is weird. And once you get going, then the load is not an issue. You know, it's got plenty of power. I'm full throttle right now. I usually don't fly full throttle for long periods on this plane. Okay, take off flaps here. We'll just try kind of a graceful, about 15% throttle, maybe 20. Try for a nice lower speed pass going over the top of the truck. Over the power lines and flattening out. We're gonna take it to the left, come over the top of the tree line, and then back in front of the house over the bug zapper. Take off flaps, 3 steps to your right. There's our timer. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll cheat a little bit on this one just because we had to land to play with the voltage alarm. That was our mistake. Those 2 white lights really help with orientation on landing finals, because you can tell the angle of the plane, and then that red light, that beacon, not a very good landing. You guys want to see a takeoff from the grass with this heavier pack? And by the way, I say it's heavier, but it's not exceptionally heavier, okay? Okay, here we go. We're gonna try it. Full takeoff flaps, and landing flaps. It's almost like a diesel compared to a gas engine. You know, it just, once it gets going, you've got plenty of juice. And it feels like it would go forever, but it's just not very ballsy, you know? That's full throttle. This whole pass has been full throttle, by the way. Do you hear any alarm? I don't.
I don't right now.
By the way, Horizon, good job with the tail light. This thing's on sale if I didn't mention it already. Beautiful plane, one of my favorites. Full speed pass, pretty fast. This plane will do it all. Okay, let's come into a final. It just doesn't seem, it's almost like it wants to ride about 85%, you know? And, okay, full landing flaps. I gotta kind of cheat a little bit because of the height of that truck in our driveway there, which is my big test truck. Gotta slow it down a little bit here. Okay, we'll do a little bit of taxi here.
A little mowing.
Nah, it's not too bad. Watch your bounce onto the driveway, guys. These props are beautiful, but good luck finding them if they're out of stock, you know, and they are counter-rotating. Throttle cuts on and tested. So I'm at 2 minutes 22 past. So let's go ahead and just grab the plane. We'll walk inside. We'll keep it live so that you guys don't think we're trying to cheat. Basically, this pack, I would liken it to running on a huge 3S pack. The difference is on a 3S pack, you're still gonna get fast, punchy power. And I feel like this thing, it's more like it's got staying power, but it doesn't quite have the oomph that you're looking for. Now, it just depends on your application. That might be perfect for what you need.
Oh, cat's out.
All right, so let's do a test here. Throttle cut is on. First things first. She's hot. She's hot. She's hot. Feel it. Yeah, she's hot. Not hot enough that I can't hold it, but I would not. It's kind of like a hot cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So we're at 3.81 volts though, guys. It just feels like it just takes it, you know? Okay, so let's look at this. Okay.
Hold on.
Good balance. Pretty close. Now this thing, I think it's a Lipo. Now, charging these things is super easy. I'm gonna show you, it's warm, so you normally wouldn't wanna charge when it's warm, and I'm not going to charge it while it's warm, but I am gonna start the charge sequence to show you how it works. We'll jump into this charger here. Okay, obviously you can't plug that in because I don't have my adapter plugged in. Verizon has offerings for this too. So channel 1 is going to be, what you can do is you can click and you can go battery type, Lipo, and change it to lithium ion, okay? And then you can start it. Whoops. You can actually charge this much faster too. So you can charge it at 10 amp rate if you want, but I would probably treat it more like a smaller pack just because I want to be nice to the pack. And keeping in mind this is hot, you wouldn't want to typically charge when a battery is hot. But the thing is, as you can see, it's going just fine, and you can see the milliamp hours kicking up, okay? So just to show you, you can do it. Now I'm gonna stop that. We'll unplug it, let it cool properly on a non-flammable surface. Just make sure we don't have any problems. It's not hot enough to catch fire right now, but if you start a chemical reaction and the reaction keeps facilitating more reaction, then you have to be a little bit careful. So now, let's go out and fly it on this. Now, full disclosure, I'm just gonna do this because I wanna look mostly at energy density. We're gonna run out of daylight, so let's look at this. We got our scale. Obviously this one was 599 grams, okay? Let's wait for it to turn on. So 599 grams, okay? 998, whatever. This one's gonna be the same size, okay? So I'm just gonna give this thing the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna plug in only the big pack, okay? We're gonna see what type of response we get, and we're gonna set the alarm, and we're gonna go to the very other end of the spectrum. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna go way up. Let's set the alarm to go off at, so this 3.8 would be like storage voltage. So let's do 3.6, which I normally wouldn't run an alarm at 3.6 because that's pretty like stupid. You go a lot lower than that safely, in my opinion. So you see this, camera crew, what I'm doing? I'm gonna just squeeze that in there just to simulate the extra weight. I'm not actually gonna run it on both. This is just simply to get the extra weight in there to show you that the batteries can be massive in this thing, but also to demonstrate, okay, first of all, I'm gonna clear my timer, throttle cut, it's on, and then we'll go ahead and plug in this this IC3 to the XT60, okay? Then we're gonna tighten this down. Now, just to be clear, if you want to, you can actually run a 2200 and a 4000 as long as they're both 4S, okay? In parallel, okay? But I wouldn't recommend it because you don't know which one it's gonna draw down first, and you're probably gonna want to alarm the smallest pack you have if you're running it like we are today. So keeping in mind everything has been tested, safe is initiated, let's go fly in the near dark for extra fun, just because we really like you guys. So here we go. Of course, there's a cat. So same exact routine. We're gonna basically taxi it down the taxiway here. Throttle cuts off. Look at those lights. They look awesome. You see those things when you get in the frequency of the LEDs? That's so cool. Okay, guys, here. Full flaps out of the flaps. That's why I like lithium polymer. No beep yet. Okay, just to let you know, it's flying pretty heavy right now with the 2 packs in there. But just to be clear, it's exactly the same weight. Well, not exactly. It's 1 gram or 2 grams off, okay? We're gonna go over the tree line and then just in front of the bug zapper and then in front of us. You ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Take off flaps, landing flaps, full throttle, and up. It's Johnny on the spot with the power too. Full landing flaps coming out as I turn around. Okay, so watch this, okay. Full throttle, limited delay, a little bit. Man, that looks good. Mm-hmm. Motorcycle's going by. Take off flaps only there. Let's go up by the runway, please. So we're just kind of flying around, just kind of doing almost pattern flying. I'm gonna go out and do some rolls and things. Lighting is getting pretty bad. I'm assuming the video quality is gonna suffer a little bit, but this is more about analytical information here today. Doing some pattern stuff, getting into the power. Man, those lights are helpful in the dark. That tail light, guys, at Horizon, if you're listening, thank you. That tail light does the trick in those two front lights. Every plane that I ever did LEDs on had some similar configuration. Forward-facing white, forward-facing, and rearward-facing white, as well as the nav lights on the wingtips. Red is right returning, okay, guys? Red is right returning. So of course that means that when it's coming at you, the red light is going to be on the right. Okay, and just inside here.
It's the only way I know that.
So I could have probably snuck that 2200 back just a hair because it's feeling just a touch nose heavy. We're gonna go at least to our warning or the 5-minute timer, whichever comes first. Surprisingly, the lithium ion has performed similarly. Maybe the bogginess was just the simple sheer weight of the pack. I think the ups are way better on the lithium polymer. Difference is on the lithium ion, the low voltage will not sneak up on you near as bad as a polymer. The lithium polymer will, the Lipo, will sneak up on you like right now, okay? Because like I said, you're sipping off the top 10% of the cup. Whereas with the lithium ion, you're using like the top 3/4, or maybe more like, sorry, 2/5 of the cup. And that's just a difference in chemistry. There's also a difference in the way that they deteriorate over time. So you kind of got to figure out which one's better for you. I personally think in an aircraft environment, Lipo, while being a little bit more burn your housey downy, it's definitely what you want because that energy on demand is what we need as aircraft pilots. If you're flying a low energy plane like a sailplane or something like this where you might be thermaling for a long time and all you're doing is running the electronics like the servos, receiver, etc., you might find that they work pretty good. Full landing flaps. This is a little bit more demanding, dual engines, fairly heavy plane. Those lights are the cure-all, guys. Look at that. Look at that tail light on the ground. Look at that. That's so gorgeous. Okay, gonna avoid the power lines by staying low. Okay, here we go. To the other side of the street, full throttle, and easy does it. What was that? That was crazy. There was like a bug or something that came, what seemingly was right out of the back of my plane.
Might have been a bat.
Oh yeah. Guys, we have so much stuff to do right now on our channel. It's incredible. I have like 10 boxes right now, and I have like 3 more coming. I have 3 more. Oh, warning. Okay, hun, stay where you are.
Okay.
To my left, please. I have the truck to compete with, something I'm not used to. There's our timer. Like I said, it's gonna sneak up on us, so I gotta respect the warning. Oh, except this is 3.8 volts. Lame. Full landing flaps. Forcing the nose down, it's getting pretty close. Depth perception goes at this time of night. Trying to hit the runway for you guys. And yes, you do kind of have to jank this thing around when it's heavy like that, especially if you got a hill. Okay, well, I don't want to pause because they could think I'm cheating, okay? This is going to be a non-stop video. Keep up, otherwise we'll lose connection.
Oh, okay.
So, speaking to the lapel mics, for all you lapel mic lovers, I have to kind of do this to keep line of sight. Every time I walk down to the end of the runway, we have problems with that.
Oh, yeah.
You've been pretty gracious to us over these concerns, but since this is a time and power related video, I want to be totally full disclosure. Okay, throttle cuts on and tested. So we'll go ahead and run in. We started this video right around just a little bit after 7, right?
Yeah.
And Of course, we had to rush to get the kids' things picked up, and I just got back from work. So here we are now trying to get this thing complete. But my apprehension about these lithium ion packs in the aircraft, like airplane environment, may have been somewhat satisfied by doing this. I feel like I have a better idea of what type of environment they're gonna work well for and what type of environment they're not gonna work well for. All right, so let's see what we got for voltage. And by the way, I know some of you are thinking, but Brian, you didn't hook up the 2200 milliamp. Duh, that was the whole point. I wanted to show that these things are gonna perform close. Not that they were equivalent, because they are most certainly not. Okay, look, 15.1. Oh, what are we doing? Let's use the smart one. So much better. These straps are awesome in this plane, by the way. The only modifications I did this plane was I put an XT60 on it back when I was doing XT60s for all my batteries. I would say that it's probably 20 degrees cooler.
Yeah.
Maybe not 20.
I don't know. It's definitely,
It's a
noticeably
lot.
cooler.
This claims 27%. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Okay? 27% on this particular meter means that you have 27% to fly. Okay? That means that my little crappy alarm actually worked pretty good. It must have gone off about 3.8. I usually can fly these things down to about 3.6. You'll notice there's zero puffing, okay? Which is really good. So in closing, if I would have hooked this up with this, not in series, but in parallel, then the big drawback is that when this pack runs out, you don't really know which one's gonna, you could potentially damage the smaller one. So am I suggesting you do it? Not really, but hypothetically, electrically speaking, you should be able to do it. So that being said, if I could find two of these that would have weighed exactly the same as this pack, and I did try a couple of different feel it. This thing is still hotter than this thing. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So guys, do we have that thermometer thing in your kitchen?
I think it died.
It died?
Yeah.
Oh, we should get one of those. So this thing, is it a good pack? It seems like it might be good. Now, longevity is a huge factor with batteries, but also the burn your housey down sort of behaviors. You got to watch out for that. And I say that jokingly, but I know people really have suffered from these things. Lithium ion packs have a slightly better history on their chemistry being slightly less reactive in terms of starting fires, but you could start a fire with this just like you could start a fire with this. So you need to be careful no matter what battery you're using. You need to dispose of them safely. So check your local resources, call your waste management companies, figure out how to get rid of them. Sometimes the hobby shops will actually collect these for you. So if you have a local hobby shop, you can take those in. I don't know if they charge or not, but these ones here in particular, because they're soft pack and they're trying to save weight for airplane applications, you know, you're gonna tend to have a little bit more vulnerability. This might hold up a little better if you had like a real bad landing or something. I mean, but I don't know if it's gonna catch fire like these will if you pierce through and catch something, you know, where it goes through the packs, leaks the lithium gas, and then catches on fire. So I personally, I have never had that happen, never. I have caught planes on fire before, but not from a pack. And I have crashed some planes really bad. And I have had packs that are crushed 30% down. And there's, I mean, I wouldn't use them again, but they didn't catch on fire. I've had ESCs catch on fire after getting wet, and I've had ESCs catch on fire after catching the ground and then giving full throttle like an idiot. But I've never had a lithium ion or a lithium polymer, either one of these, lithium ion, lithium polymer. I've never had one catch on fire for me.
And we've charged and used
Knock on wood.
thousands of batteries.
Thousands.
Thousands.
Thousands. We're not exaggerating. Thousands.
Yep.
We have hundreds of batteries. The best thing I can tell you is if you want a good experience with batteries, buy high quality batteries, okay? I'm not saying this one's better than this. I would say that currently I prefer this one. I edge this one out by this. However, you have to take into consideration the fact that this would fly longer if you weren't in a high load environment and you didn't have things like, you know, darkness impeding your flight progress. And also, if you had a single engine plane, I think you would fare better. And I think if you had a lower wing loading plane, this thing actually has pretty good wing loading. But I mean, if you're flying it on this plane, no way. I don't even know if you would get off the ground.
I don't know if you would either.
Because it would take so long to spool up power. It might be a cool challenge sometime for somebody else to do with their plane. Not me.
No.
Or if you had a capacitor in series with this, you might be able to then run an EDF. But to be frank, this would act a lot like a capacitor. So who wins the day? And I'm sorry, I keep doing this and I mean to be doing this because really what we're talking about weight-wise is 6,600 milliamps compared to 10,000 milliamps. And the performance on this drops quickly, but holds on where it is longer than this, okay? So you have to figure out for yourself, is it better? I don't know. I think that they're both good. And I'm gonna probably lean toward this for aircraft. I just think it's gonna work better for my application. So anyway, if you guys wanna learn, oh, and then I promised my wife we would show you guys how these unpacked.
Oh, yeah.
Because we didn't do an unboxing as we would historically do. So we'll just unbox this one. All I've done is just cut the tape so that I didn't have to do that. This came with, it came in a bag. Inside the battery was inside this. And then the lead was taped down nicely. And it came with all these goodies, which this is really nice. High quality strap, like the kind that won't break. So that's sweet. And it came with shameless advertising. We don't know anything about that. And then it came with a charged or discharged label indicator. So you can stick that on and you can say that needs charged or vice versa. Or you can just throw it on the ground like I did. And then it came with a little piece of foam. I believe that piece of foam was like this. So we'll just show you how this one opens. This one's a 5,000 milliamp hour.
Yeah, it's gonna get it for you.
Good.
Oh, look.
Thank you, Kitty.
Thanks, Kelly.
All right, so here we are. So it comes like this, just kind of wrapped like that. All right, so we'll take that off.
Do you know what you're gonna use that one for?
Not sure yet. It's kind of a big pack. I mean, I mean, this might be kind of nice compared to a long skinny pack in certain applications, because if this is a 5,000 milliamp hour and it's legit 5,000 milliamp hours, then it's, you know, it's a different shape. That might work good because you can get the load more to the nose or more to the tail.
Sure.
So you can make up for issues. Now let's look at the weight real quick just so people can see. These guys claim, do they have a claim on here? Same thing. Yeah, they're saying it's a 5,000 milliamp hours, 74 watt hours. Does this say what the watt hours are? That's 59.2 watt hours, okay? That means that it can discharge 59.2 watts in an hour, I believe is the way that that is read and understood. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. 304. So I would expected this based on the 599 grams on this, or 598 grams. Okay, so that's 599 or 598. I've seen 599 like 10 times.
Yeah.
I would have expected this to be just a hair lighter, but I mean, we're within a handful of grams. Now, why is this one heavier per unit of energy? Because the connector and the wire are going to be the same on this as they are on this, as they are on 12,000, as they are on 15,000. So the basis that you need is going to be greater. Does that make sense, camera crew? Mm-hmm. So that being said, let's show you charging this one, because this one is cool to the touch. It's brand new, obviously. And what we'll do is just plug in our little adapter. If you already have another charger that uses XT60s, obviously you wouldn't have to do that. So we'll show you how it comes. And this is where you're like, oh my goodness, it's broken. Except that it's not. And the reason you might think that My camera crew has such a hard time with this.
The lighting on
The
this.
lighting in this. There we go.
That'll work.
Is it really gonna work? It looks like it's gonna work horrible.
I'll turn it back on.
Okay.
I'll keep the glare.
So we're gonna click on this. And then we're gonna go scroll down. Oops, we gotta click one more time. Go to lithium ion, click, and go to, oh, it's already on lithium ion because the last non-smart pack was a lithium ion, okay? And this one is 4S, and it's 4 amps. So you could set this one to 5 amps. That'd be the full charge. It actually can go to 10 amps because it's capable of 2C. All right, so then it's gonna start. There's your watts and your voltage, okay? And then going to the second screen, there isn't a second screen yet. There's your internal resistance, or that's your voltage. Your internal resistance will come up over time. Internal resistance speaks to the resistance between each cell in series. So the greater the internal resistance, I believe, the worse off the pack is. And these do deteriorate and fail over time, quite a bit different than Lipos. So you'll want to do research and figure out if it meets your needs. Anyway, that's about it. You can see packed really well, nice thick packaging in there. Comes with the nice straps and the stickers, shameless advertisements, and of course the kind of the charge indicators. And those are not labeled. I think that's what that is, just a charge indicator. Mine just happened to pop in half, which is a little bit weird. I don't know why that happened. It's not a big deal. And by the way, these charge indicators will fit on an IC3 if you want to use those, which I'm not suggesting you should, but what do you think, camera crew?
It worked.
I mean, I'm not saying, I was ready to be thrilled and amazed, and I'm neither. I'm just, it is what it is. I feel like it's a good quality product. It's probably a lot cheaper, you know, than some other alternatives, and you're gonna get, it is still a big pack. That being said, that being understood, you know, sometimes with a big pack, you give up more performance than you would with several small packs. And that is something you should also consider when you're making your considerations. Because if you have a 5,000 milliamp hour pack and you go out and fly the same plane, you may find that it's less boggy because you've got less weight. And there is a fine line, and you will find it, where, say, you can fly that plane on a 2200 4S. Would I do that? No. I'd probably fly it on a 3000 or a 3200 or a 4000, but I've flown them on as much as, I believe, 2 5000s, or was it 2 4000s? No, we might have done 2 6000s. Either way, it was big. No, not 2 6000s, 2 3000s, which got us 2 6,000 milliamp hours in that plane right there, the EC-1500, which, by the way, if I haven't mentioned it, it's on sale and it's awesome. And by the way, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I did my original video, I said, this plane seems to be a little bit too expensive. I've sort of changed my tune on that to a certain extent, mostly because I've gotten a chance to see how cool it can really be. However, it's about where it should have been when it was first released. So if you want this plane for the price that it should have been, buy it now and buy it often, because it will be out of stock here pretty quick. I'm just telling you, get on, order it, get this thing here. You're gonna love it. And by the way, I don't ever talk about this stuff because I don't do this stuff, but look, it's got these little spots to put FPV cameras.
Oh.
Yep, it's got a little spot there, and then it's got another spot right here. This whole nose cone comes off.
Oh,
see?
Weird.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, which is pretty sweet. You can also put ballast in there if you're wanting to try to fly on like an extremely small pack, which why would you ever do that?
I don't know.
You can also relocate batteries. Oh, that was the only other mod I did on this, was because I found it kind of hard to grab the canopy, so I like to do that little tape thing. Great plane, still uses a 636A, or excuse me, 636B. Yeah, this is an AR636B, so it does not have the AR637TA. For some of you that have been paying attention, that has some of the better telemetry, which is good if you're upgraded on your firmware on your transmitter, which only took me like 3.5 years to do. So if you're running firmware at 2.05, which I think I can go to system setup and show you that. System setup, yes. I'll go to, hold on, let me just see if the system setting comes up. I'm gonna go to the right screen here. This is, yeah, just give me a sec here. I think when it boots, it might, yeah, it says on boot. Okay, it says on boot. There you go, 2.05.
Oh.
So that's my firmware. Now, this screen is very similar to the DX8, DX9, DX8E, DX9E, or not 9E, 6, all the regular sized DX, not the iX20 or the iX12, but this is gonna emulate very closely the same feel. The newer ones are gonna have faster RAM, which is nice because this thing has been bogged down a lot with that new firmware update, I noticed. Did you notice that too? Like particularly when you're scrolling in names.
Yeah.
Which we always pause it for that because it's so boring to watch.
Takes forever.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take that long. They actually improved it a little bit on this last update,
there's
I think.
better
It's a little
selection.
quicker to do it.
Hey, is that plane over there on sale?
This plane is on sale, guys. I don't know if I mentioned that. So I would go ahead and get online and buy it right now. Follow the link in the description below. Help yours truly and the camera crew, the poor camera crew that has to film these things all the time. She loves it. She loves it.
Sorry.
But this plane is cool. I didn't even show you dropping anything out the back, no kitties or anything. So without further ado, that's all you get for tonight. We have, like I said, tons of stuff coming. If you haven't been paying attention, there's a lot of things coming and we want you to be here for it. So stick around. If you guys like the videos, like them. If you like the channel, subscribe. We try to respond to comments. We try to keep up on what's going on in the RC communities. And it's really hard, especially when you're busy. But we really appreciate you being here. We like having the interactions that we have with you all. Let's show them how fast this is charged. This thing is already done.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy? There's our internal resistance. So I don't know, for those of you who know what a good value is, so we're at like 28.2 megohms, or is that micro-ohms? That would be megohms. No, megohms is a capital M. That must be micro-ohms, because megohms would be almost like an opening, an open circuit. This must be milliohms. Okay, and then 113 degrees. And we're at 4.1. It is not done. I lied. I'm sorry, guys.
It's still. It says charged on. It's blue.
Oh, but watch this. See?
That's weird.
No, it's not. No, what happens is it's green when it's done.
Oh.
It's orange when it's charging, then it's blue when it's like balancing.
Almost done.
Yeah, I don't really understand exactly all that because I've just usually charged stuff and then it beeps incessantly until I'm annoyed enough to come over and deal with it. So this one here, I wanted to show you another thing too. If you guys are looking at smart packs, you'll notice that says 30C. What does that say?
That says 50.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's only on that pack.
So
right?
no, I got a bunch of them that I have a bunch of them that say 50C. So I don't know if there's some internal resistance measurement that helps to dictate or helps to determine that we can qualify that as a 50C. But I just wanted to let you know, sometimes you get more bang for your buck than you realize. And we've been really happy with these packs. They're expensive. I get it. Okay, I totally get it. But I have an entire shelf of hundreds of batteries that I don't even touch anymore because this one row has single-handedly replaced like every single one of them.
Yep.
And it does a lot better job. The flights are longer. I have never had a brown, well, I shouldn't say never. I haven't run out of batteries since I started flying these things. Most of the time, I hit my alarm and then I fly for a whole nother flight time. And then I pretty much just at some point, I'm like, I'm bored, so I'm gonna land. It's incredible how much better these packs are. And you'll notice that there isn't even a single one that's puffed. Not one, not one, not one. These have Velcro, so they look thicker. Okay, here, just to show you. Not puffed, okay? And I'm not saying I've abused all of them, but I have tried to run, the 4S ones in particular have been run hard. And the 6S ones, EDFs only. No, that's not true. I do have the P51 also.
Oh.
And then the Carbon Z Cub, which has a 16-inch prop. It might as well be an EDF. So just look at that, guys. Straight down the line. It's no BS. When these first came out, I said stupid packs, and I was so wrong. They are awesome. They are awesome. It is a bit of an investment, but if you're going to be in this for a while, do it now. More safety, longer life, faster charging. I mean, you're not supposed to charge these things at like 12 amps, but you pretty much can get away with it at your own risk if the battery is labeled as such. They charge really fast. And if you're out at the flight field and you want to charge a pack fast and you've got a nice safe environment to do it, by all means, go for it. Do it on a hard surface that's not flammable.
The chargers are easy to use. They have other features that a regular old charger didn't have.
Yes.
They're just more streamlined.
I had a firm understanding of what I needed to do to charge packs with my old chargers, and they worked fine. However, they never balanced the cells right, ever, from day one when they were brand new. However, one of them I inherited, one of them I bought. That being said, these things, I have a sneaky suspicion they will work great for a while and they may start to lose their balance. Now, that would be a good test to see if this is balancing them or if the smart chip is balancing this, because this doesn't balance itself. This does. So lots of things to consider, guys. A highly technical video for you. Our camera crew is being attacked by a cat. Sorry.
Sorry.
Highly technical today. Are you okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yes, 10,000 milliamps compared to 4,000, and we're looking like similar size, but definitely not similar weight. Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind. Anything I missed?
Nope.
Like literally anything.
That was like a 20-minute flight and a 25-minute explanation.
Listen, there's people out there that are clamoring for the 3-hour-long video, and I just don't have one for them.
Give us a few days.
That's right.
It's coming.
Come back for more, guys. I like the pack. I think you might too. Am I going to replace my Fleet? Yeah, no. But just saying, if you buy that thing and you want to buy one of these, you may not be crazy. It actually did the job. The other thing is too, maybe you want to get the smaller ones, okay? I'll leave links to this. These are Banggood. These are obviously Horizon. These are a Spectrum product through Horizon Hobby. So if you're ordering this and you want to order this, great. If you're ordering that and you want to order this separately, order this today. You can get it sometime next year. Unless you're in the UK, and then it might be longer and reversed. That's all you get tonight. Thanks for coming. Smash the like button, guys. I never ask you, but you always do it. Come back for more.